some of these tools when you're at zero?
I've learned to like take the space, to give them space so we can actually have a proper conversation. If you find someone at a really low percentage, and I may ask that person, like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And most of the time you just want I'm good, because then you just want to keep going. And I find that often in the business world as well, not just in the personal world, but in the business world. We don't want a response, or sometimes we don't have the time to be like, if that person who you're asking the question to says, I'm not doing so hot and I'm not doing so well, then what do you do? So I'm very intentional when I ask some of these questions to individuals so that I'm ready for that response if I'm not doing well, like a 5%. So I kind of want to frame it there.
I love that, yeah.
I think sometimes we rush through these conversations. And then when they do tell you they're a 5 or a 10, I think the best things that I have found is you have to be present for them. You have to listen. You do such a brilliant job at that, Jay, because even in this type of environment, we know as we have this one-to-one conversation, if I was telling you I was a 5 or a 0, you'd be all in on this and you would hear me out. And then you would start to tell me, okay, let's talk about what's causing that. And I've had at times where family members have come to me and said, hey, I'm at a 5. And we start to break it down. And I said, let me put it another way for you. Think about your phone. And we do checks on our phone. And there's things on your phone that drain your battery more than other applications. And they're like, yeah, it's like when you go and Apple shows you what's draining or taking up all your memory. And what happens when you start to delete some of those things? Or what happens when you start to recognize what's causing it? They're like, oh, my battery is much more efficient. And I'm like, yeah. So what's causing that in your personal life right now?
Yeah.
And we try to create analogies of different things. And so it doesn't become a space where all we're doing is talking about all the negativity. We're trying to draw parallels to different things in everyday life. And so that it doesn't become such a charged conversation.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of the recharge concept as well, where we're like, let's talk about your mental health. Because sometimes some people don't want to talk about their mental health.
Mm-hmm.
But when we bring up the battery conversation or how to recharge, it's just a different framing. And again, this is something I think you just do brilliantly to bring everyone in. And I try to do the same thing there as well.